Hey everyone, and welcome back to Purple Noon, a podcast. I probably said this last time, but once again, long time no see. So once again, here we are with a update episode. So this episode, we're not going to be talking about, a movie particularly or anything like that. We're going to give you guys an update, both. And I have Savanna here, so here's Savanna Lanausse. Say
Hello.
hi. Sorry. But we were just
Hi.
kind of update you guys and tell us where we're at in our lives. Purple Noon is still in our hearts forever and ever. But there have been some things that have sadly just taken up our life and everything like that. And we feel like we owe you guys an explanation. We want to let you guys know that this is not something we're just like, peace. This was a 2-year project. Bye. Like, I don't view it that way, and I'm sure Savanna doesn't.
Lifelong forever friends, guys.
Yes. And then also too, to like the people, I can only imagine maybe no one is like, oh, I forgot about this podcast. But maybe just one or few people were like, man, I hope they're okay. So if you ever thought that, thank you. And if you didn't, okay, thanks.
We understand.
But with that being said, here is our little update. So, Savanna, how are you? What's life got for you? You want to update us on the past few months?
Well, I recently graduated college, so
Woo!
that took a lot out of me, not going to lie.
I'm clapping for you.
Thank you. I'm starting a graduate program next week, actually.
Oh, we ain't done with college then, bestie.
Yes, unfortunately not. I got 2 more years of this. So it's going to be busier and less busier in a way because I found out most of my program will be online, which is nice, which eliminates travel for me.
Very nice.
But it does take up a good chunk of my time. On top of that, I do work full time.
Working girl.
Yeah, so that's definitely been an obstacle in terms of like the podcast, but I found out I have 2 days off a week.
Whoa.
From both school and work.
Hey,
so that leaves time open for us. So
that's a solid 48 hours.
Exactly. So I'm thinking we, on my part at least, will be more consistent. Other than that, I've just been hanging out with my bestie.
Yeah, when applicable and things like that, when we can, even in our own schedule, Yeah. And then, so you said you're in your master's program and everything, or graduate program. So what does that entail actually? Like, can you talk a little bit more about that? Like, what are you doing and like, what classes are you taking?
So essentially it's computer based. I don't know if I want to share the master's program online. Just because I'm afraid someone's
going to
look
dweebs don't email her professor and she gets bad grades because you don't like her opinion on the thing. That's actually just something I would do to you despite you, but I'm in a good place right now.
I can't remember if I announced what school I went to on here, but I feel like people can find out. So I'm not going to say which program.
Nah, you don't have to say that. I was just thinking like what exactly you're studying, you know.
So a lot of it is lectures. So most of my time is going to be me in an online classroom in terms of studying. I'm learning how to do softwares, kind of learning the first steps into the career I'm going to, learning how to work with different companies. So the first 2 semesters are going to be that. And then after that, I should get some real life application.
Very cool.
That can mean an internship or just something school-based, but again, something outside of the classroom. So I don't know what that looks like just yet, but that's kind of the model I've been given. And again, because it's online, I'm hoping, with college, it was nice because I can kind of make my own schedule. I'm hoping it'll be somewhat like this. I do know with my lectures, that's kind of out of my hand.
Oh, so this is not a do at your own pace with some deadlines things. This is you actually joining in some Zoom links and things like that, right?
Some of the classes, yes. Some of them are just kind of me doing an online course, but some of them, it depends on the discretion of the teacher from what I am understanding. I am hoping and praying that most of it is going to be pre-recorded lectures. I'm kind of not a huge fan of the live lectures. My attention span is just not there for that, but I do have a feeling I'll have at least one class that persists of is persistent about the live lectures. So, um, it really actually just depends at the discretion of the teacher on what they kind of want to do. But I do know a good amount of my classes are going to be like learn at your own pace, but some of them are going to be teacher. I guess just what the teacher wants.
Gotcha. Yeah, at my school, because that's how my classes are, where essentially there's like 10 different Zoom links in a week, and you have to hop in during a specific time so that way you could get the content live and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But I'm also the same thing where it's like I do my studying and all of my note taking and stuff like that in my own time, which makes it even more difficult because essentially I have to go through the content twice. And that's not including studying and things like that. And that's a lot of time per week,
Yeah.
And for me at least and stuff like that, one thing that actually helps me, I think I've mentioned it to you and I don't think it would help you, but one thing I do is and it might, you never know, it might help someone else. I listen to some wacky music, some instrumental music while in class, so it's kind of like a soundtrack, and it just kind of gets things a little bit more fancy and cinematic and whatnot because I'm that much of a dweeb. And it's specifically, it's not, it is, you would think I would be pulling out like the like scores and soundtracks and stuff. No, it's all funk music.
Okay.
PHONK. It's the type of music that you would hear blasting at 2 a.m. in a Honda Civic from 1999. And it gets the energy there. Because what am I going to do, Savanna? What am I going to do? Am I going to listen to my teacher talk about chemical kinetics while,
Yeah.
I'm listening to Schindler's List score? I can't do that to myself.
Not the
I'll
vibes.
cry.
Yeah, not the
So,
vibes.
which, by the way, I can't actually listen to the Schindler's List score without crying because I'm that wimpy. But yeah, so I listen to like funk music. It's just a lot of music that sounds like
Oh,
kind of like a less intense version of dubstep,
I
if
think
you
I know
will.
what you're talking. I think I've heard it in your car before.
Yeah, it's wacky. It's fun though. Yeah, so anything, so you graduated, you are now starting this awesome, program and everything, which by the way, congrats.
Thank you.
And is there anything else new going on in your life, like any like personal journeys or anything else? You've been to the movies quite a bit though.
Oh
That's
yeah.
one thing I feel like you've amped up, is that even though our recording schedule hasn't been aligned, you have been seeing a lot of movies though.
Oh, I'm giving AMC my money's worth. So
Yeah. Well, you got
I
that membership though, right?
yeah, I'm scamming the system 100%. Um, yeah, I like to go. So my husband is gone 5 days a week, 9 to 5, because he's doing his own rotations for his program.
Hmm.
So when I was the past few months, I've been doing a lot of my schoolwork online. I'd get done pretty early with a lot of it.
You
I get up
hit that
early.
10 a.m. matinee?
Oh my God, 10, 11, 12 is my time.
I know.
That's my
Who's going
scene.
to call you at that time? Because you could say it's the morning. I'm busy.
I'm taking a brunch or a lunch break. That's how I like to put it. It's my brunch/lunch date. And I would just go maybe once to twice a week, depending on what movies were out.
Hmm.
Um, I love it. It's my happy place. It's my me time. So I've definitely seen almost all the major movies that have come out within the last 3 months.
Lucky. I've
I don't
seen
know if I can.
Diddley.
I don't think I could keep up that pace, to be honest. Probably not with grad school, but I'm happy I got to do it early on in the year.
Hmm.
I've been reading more. I will say the last few months of college did give me a lot of time to like do my hobbies. I've decorated my house,
Hey.
but yeah, mostly I do have
I
some movie
sleep in the
talk.
space bedroom.
Yes. I have a space theme room in my house, and now I'm renovating the downstairs bedroom. I don't know if I just told you we got a bed in there now.
Ooh.
And I'm cleaning out that bathroom, and it's going to be like subtle Disney theme. So subtle. I don't want to go in there and Mickey Mouse is like flying off the wall. It's going to be subtle and it's going to be tasteful.
Very nice. Very nice. So is it like going to be like Disney film or like the parks? Like, is it going to
No,
be like,
no,
oh, we have like little images from different movies? Or is it going to be like there's a popcorn machine in there?
no. See, because I feel like that's where like the Disney adult thing, like I have to draw a line, you know.
That's fair. That's fair.
It'll be I'd like it to just be like maybe some pictures of the movies. I saw this really cute monorail pillow. That could be cute. Just something small because for the next, I want to say in the fall, I'm gonna have some friends visit from out of state, and I think it would be fun to have like a little room where they get excited
Very
because when everybody
nice.
comes here, they want to go to Disney.
Oh, of course. It's proximity to where we live and everything.
Yeah,
But I think what you should do if you want just a twinge of Disney, you should actually see and look up like Disney hotel rooms and see the little things because not every Disney hotel you go to is just Disney. Sometimes it's like, oh, this has a hidden Mickey,
yeah, yeah.
and things like that. So maybe you could do that. I think though that one of your rooms legally should be a Moulin Rouge themed room. I'm
That would be
talking
really
you
cool.
walk in, red velvet wallpaper, red velvet floor, different colors of reds and purples and rustic colors.
That sounds very nice.
Circle bed. Can't do squares. Circle
Ah,
bed,
I wish
middle of the room.
I want a circle bed. I want a circle bed. If I
Like
could do it all over, I get a circle bed.
can girls. Live or just pictures. And definitely definitely like a hookah machine. Even though you and I don't smoke, you need a
Oh,
hookah machine just for aesthetic.
yeah,
Just for aesthetic.
yeah. Why not? Why not?
So yeah, but that's awesome. I'm hoping, for your sake and your sanity, that your AMC movie going adventures with Nicole Kidman are
Oh, I
still
have to.
afoot.
You don't understand. I get there right as the movie starts because I can't see it anymore. I can't see. They also repeat the same trailers. I'm noticing because
She's
nothing.
like been signed to that contract for like another 3 years
They
now.
better do something else. Another thing. Something else.
Yeah, I think they need for AMC and the amount of money that they're starting to bring back now that a lot of people are going back to movies and things like that. I think they can amp it up. If they can get Nicole Kidman, they can amp it up. They can amp it up for
Yeah,
sure.
they're fine if they get Nicole Kidman.
Well, I'm glad you had a good summer because I didn't.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And Savannah's fully aware. Like this was just a very, very difficult time period for me.
Yeah.
Essentially, probably the last time we filmed an update episode, I was having some issues. I have autoimmune issues and I was having issues with my liver. And it was really scary at first because one value that I had was off, but because it was off, it normally could be like, oh yeah, it could be your autoimmune or it could be leukemia. So that was kind of looming over my head for like a week and a half, because they had to test me for leukemia and other types of blood cancers and stuff, anemic things. So yeah, that was really rough. Unfortunately, I got the diagnoses I needed. I got, informed of what I needed to do and lifestyle changes that I just needed to do to make sure that I wasn't going through that again. And the biggest thing, and like keep in mind, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do
No.
anything, and my liver levels were just acting up.
Right.
So because of my celiac and other issues, it's very heavily influenced by diet and things like that too. So I was given the tools and everything to kind of help take care of that and do all those things. And very, very, very randomly in late May, it was definitely difficult because I had lost a family member. I had lost my cousin at 27 years old, and it was very difficult. Like I was not. No one was expecting it. No one in my family was expecting it. And I think it's one thing to be like, oh, my grandparent who's older, even an aunt and uncle, or even a parent, but like when I'm 24 and then my 27-year-old cousin passes away who I grew up with and everything. It was a shock. It was a shock to me, to everyone. And it really, and sadly due to circumstances, because a week before he had passed away, I was heading towards for my school for summer labs. My hotel was booked and everything, and it's a requirement in order to continue on that I had to go do labs. And because of cost of flights and everything to get up there and to travel and the money I would lose, it was really difficult mentally because I could not attend his funeral for someone who I was extremely, extremely close to. And that's something that mentally weighs on you. That's something that, you got to deal with it. And I'm very fortunate enough that I have a therapist, and I'm very fortunate that I have a therapist who was more than happy to change her schedule to meet with me every week while I was going through all this, because it just went from medical trauma and medical, fog, I guess you could just say, to then this, and then having to do, and then keep in mind, I missed a month of school. So while I'm grieving my cousin, while I'm trying to take care of myself, I'm still making up everything that I have missed. I've missed a month of school, and I'm doing my labs at the same exact time.
Yeah.
So it was difficult. I had no summer. Some people, are fortunate and get summer breaks, but because of that month that I was absent for my health, I could not get a break. So, and my semester, the new semester for me, started in July. So I had no break. I have taken an exam almost every week since end of May.
Yeah.
And it's been crazy. It's just been so crazy and so hectic. Fortunately, I've, like I said, had therapy. I have really great friends like Savanna and my boyfriend and everything, and just overall a really great support system. I have also really great people at my school who were very, very accommodating. And, even when it didn't seem like anything could budge, they would budge and stuff like that. So I'm very, very thankful that even though it was the hellish 3.5, what month are we in now? Oh my God, August. God, this is my nom. This is going to be like the nom that I reference to, like for the next few years at least, just because it's been so endless. But ultimately, I think, I'm very lucky. I don't have cancer. I don't have, any traumatic health issues. Like anything that like I have to go do regiment therapy for and stuff. A lot of things are still within my control, within my health, and I'm very thankful for that. I'm also very thankful that, even though I was just taking exams and I hated it so much, even though I was just nonstop, I'm still very thankful that, I've had teachers that have understood what I've been going through and have been as accommodating as they could be. So now I enter my second year of pharmacy school. And fortunately, the one best thing is that it is a short semester. Essentially, my semester will end in September. So and normally I would do rotations and stuff like that, but I don't think I'll have any rotations set up for this year. So fortunately, it might look like I might have a extremely well needed like 1 to 3 month break no matter what at the end of September, starting at the end of September. So yeah, it's just it's literally like, and when I just think about it, it's just so, it was really just one thing after another, sadly. And it's tough. And I know, Savanna, you can kind of relate to that, because I know a few months ago you were going through your own health issues and things like that, and you were very candid about that with like your birth control and how it was affecting you and things like that. And so what it feels like to just go through like 3 months of just back to back to back, essentially blows, is what it is. So yeah, and that's really been a huge proponent as to why like we haven't done the podcast, because I've just been literally making up like an exam a week, and very, very high stake exams, keep in mind too, because they were all final exams for courses that I had missed the last month of content for. So a lot of teaching myself, a lot of meeting with teachers and just doing what I can, and things like that too. So it was a difficult time period. I'm starting to leave that time period. And even though I'm in a new semester, it's not as painstaking. And look, the semester's still going to be rough, but it's not as intense as it was, a month ago or 2 months ago, where everything kind of relied on me to get through.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was my summer in a nutshell. But um, even through everything, there was one goal that I had set, and we won't talk every detail about it, but we'll talk a little bit about it now.
Yeah.
One goal that I had set for the summer and that I knew I wanted to do was I wanted to make a short film and I wanted it to be entered in some competitions. The reason why I'm not saying a lot about it is because we've had entered it into some film festivals and everything like that. But, you know, due to film festivals and the way that they go and things like that, we can't really say too much about it, as well as, you know, we don't know yet if we've been accepted into these too. So I don't want to be like, yeah, we're number one, we're doing this and this, it's so amazing. And then, you know, we don't get any nomination whatsoever. But yeah, like I told Savanna about this idea I had, and I was like, I want to do this. I want to do this. And I was like, yeah, we can do it over the summer when I'll have time. Ha ha ha. So it went from probably in the spring saying, oh yeah, we'll have a month to make this.
Yeah.
Then it went to 3 weeks. Then it
Right.
went to 2 weeks. And then we came to the point where I realized if we wanted to make this short film, we had a week and a half to film, to write it, edit it, make costumes for it, act in it, send it to the film festivals,
Yeah.
and everything. And it was tough, but we actually did it. And we got, and the reason why it was that on that time constraint was because not only of my semester beginning, but also because of one of the film festivals that we had said, like, yeah, we want to enter this one the most, was the deadline was approaching.
Mm-hmm.
So we, you know, it really, it feels like a fever dream making the short film. It really does too. Not only because of the way that it looked and the premise of everything, but how quick it started and ended.
Yeah.
Like it went from me messaging Savanna on a Friday saying, "Hey, here's the script." Us, and the way that we filmed it was we memorized the lines entirely. Like, and it's only one take. That's all you guys get. It's only one take. And we had 3 days to
I
remember 10
yeah.
pages of dialogue
It was 3 days. Yeah.
while both of us were still in school.
Yeah.
Goofy, crazy, ridiculous. I know. But I really wanted it to get done. And I knew, because I have not filmed anything since high school, really, you know, in terms of like a project that I've done and stuff like that. I haven't filmed anything since I was like 17. I've done, you know, The Gathering, and I've been a part of other things, but I haven't been able to do my own film. So it was really important to me that it got done. And even when everything felt like mentally I was declining, I was losing my mind. This was happening. This was happening. I was like, I got the short film. I got the. It definitely probably wouldn't put myself through that again during all that time period and everything. But I'm just really, really grateful that we were able to get it done and everything. So,
Absolutely.
Savannah, what was your experience making the short film and stuff without, you know, talking about the short film?
I was very impressed with how much we were able to do within such, because like you said, I think we had 3 days to remember our lines. And it, you know, it was a situation where there weren't going to be any cuts. We just had to remember the entire thing.
Yeah, and
So
by the way, just saying, if anyone's wondering why would you do that, it's because, and people be like, that sounds extremely stupid and difficult. Why would you do that? Because I knew I could, it was more possible for me to do that than to edit many different scenes, many different angles, many different cuts within a certain
right.
time period.
Exactly. And Stephanie, I've, you know, we've worked together on some of your other projects. I already know how good of a director you are.
Thank you.
So even when you told me like, hey, we're gonna do this in one take, I was nervous because I haven't been on camera since forever, since actually
Mhm.
never. But um, I know how good you are at directing and bringing, because we did The Gathering and we worked on a few other things. So I know how good you were at making things happen and not giving me that guidance and giving others the guidance as well. So had a lot of faith from the beginning. The day of was absolutely crazy. I think we were trying to do the scene for like an hour or an hour and a half, something like that.
Yeah.
And it was great because in the beginning, we, we were not in it. Like we were struggling. And I
Yeah.
think at the end, you just were kind of like, we have to do this. You pulled us aside because your boyfriend was tired. I was rambling at one point. It was, and
I
I
then
think,
brought out the Red Bull.
yeah, we had a very limited time and limited space to do everything. So at one point, you were just like, hey, I remember you were just like, just go with it. If you forget something, just do it. We got it done, I think, in less than 10 takes. And I definitely credit that
Yeah.
to
So, yeah, because
100%.
we did a lot of practicing. We took about 4 hours to film. And I also want to just kind of hint that what we're doing, because you might be like, oh, it's a short film. It can't be that tough. It's in Old English.
Mm-hmm.
So not only did I have to write that, I didn't have to, but my dumb little brain was like, you gotta do the project the right way. You gotta do it like this. And I made it but I also like a challenge too. So I'm happy I also did that. But it was tough dialogue. It was tough dialogue. And I think because you haven't shown you haven't shown your family or your husband this, but I've shown my family.
Surprise, yeah.
Yeah, I know, but I've shown my family, and it was so funny because at one point they just kind of looked at each other, and then they looked at me and they were like, "There's no cuts," and I'm like, "I know." They're like, "Why is there no cuts? Like this is one take, or are you just that good of editing?" I'm like, "No, this is one take," and they couldn't believe it. They could not believe it because it's us, and it's 10 minutes of dialogue. It's 10 minutes of dialogue, back and forth, and I remember, and I love my boyfriend, but he does underestimate me because he was like, yeah, this is probably going to take 20 takes. And I was like, it'll take less than 10. And guess what? Fourth recorded take was the one. Our fourth recorded take
Yeah.
was the one that we used with no real editing. We chopped a little off in the beginning and chopped a little off at the end to account for the, you guys ready? Go? Okay, we're done. That type of thing,
Yeah.
So and I knew it. If things were getting stressful, because my mom was watching 90 Day Fiancé in the room next door, and it was stressing me out. And then I knew too that my dad was going to be coming home any minute, and that causes my dogs to go into a frenzy. It was a huge thing too, because my dogs are loud. So I did not want us to be in the middle of the take, and then all of a sudden you hear my dog Carter go in the background, right? And then also one light went out. We don't have the charger for it because we rented the light. We have one light left. And then Zach looks at me and tells me, I got 7 minutes left. 7 minutes left of recording on this thing. So I was like, we gotta, like, I just was like, sip that Red Bull and we gotta do what we have to do. And there was even a point where when we were filming it, I caught myself because when you were saying your really intense lines, I was finding myself going, yes, you're doing it. Yes. Like, I almost actually said that stuff out loud, but I found myself doing that stuff. And keep in mind too, like, we're also everything's choreographed. So not only are our dialogues we're trying to recall, Savanna's also trying to remember the placement of things. She's also trying to remember what's going where, what's doing what, and what the next move is. And then I'm also doing that. And then I'm also going, okay, this is the pace, this is the cues, this is this, how do I look, blah, blah, blah. And I know, Savanna, you were probably doing the same thing, like, gotta lift up the head, gotta do this, because it's kind of like theater acting, except now instead of being cautious of an audience and having someone tell you how you look, we're just now thinking about ourselves and how we're looking on camera.
Yeah.
Difficult, but we did it. And you know what? Whether or not it gets accepted into film festivals or anything like that, I'm very, very proud of it. I'm very extremely proud of what we've done, because I think out of all the things that could have done, no one in their right mind would expect this.
Yeah. No,
and
this come out of left field.
Oh, are you kidding me? No one could ever predict. I just said Old English. What? who does that? Who chooses to do that except for Roger Eggers for, you love me lobster type dialogue. But yeah, like it was, I'm very proud of the both of us. We did it. You did it. You got your lines down, especially. And I remember just the day recording, I was like, not doubting your abilities, but I was going, why did I write such goofy lines? I really had to go all poetic for this stuff. Like it was really, really funny. It was really, really funny, like looking back at it now, but it was stressful. And once again, peace and love, peace and love, peace and love to my boyfriend, Zach. But Zach, oh my God, this dude every time was like, we can film it from 2 different angles. And I'm trying to explain, I can afford the time right now to do this. I can't afford the time later to edit because I had to study. I had to study cardio drugs. That stuff's hard, okay? So he's like, oh yeah, we could just do it and edit this. I'm like, you're not editing it though. It's me. It's all on me. So I knew that I wanted it to be one take because the thing that I wanted to focus on was I wanted to focus on the audio, which came out, couldn't have been better, okay? And I also wanted to focus on, I hit my microphone, on the aesthetic of the entire and the look of everything. I knew that was going to take long. I did not want to be splicing and dicing scenes up.
Oh, no,
that stuff is, and I use iMovie because I suck. I use iMovie. I don't use Adobe Premiere. I use iMovie. Do you know how limited I am? I can't do fancy stuff. And keep in mind, I like iMovie, but I also know I'm extremely limited with it. So that's why I was like, let's just get something, boom, boom, add it in, and that is that. And you know what? We did that. We did that all under $300.
Yeah.
I just used my boyfriend's camera. We just rented lights, and a big portion was really just costuming, which we also made too.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
After a sleepover, I think 2 days before, I dragged you out to a Joann's Fabrics and just started slamming fabrics in the cart. And I remember you saying, like, aren't you going to measure this? I was like, no. And I just started.
I was like, okay.
I just started slamming material and everything. And I looked crazy too because I was taking photos of it. I was doing color comparing and stuff like that. And I was just like, is this silk? Throw it in. And I was also stubborn. I was like, clearance aisle or nothing. Yeah. We didn't even go in the normal section where we could look up things. It was first come, first serve in the clearance aisle.
It was so funny too, because when we brought all that fabric to the measuring lady, she kept just saying, no, I want it all. Like she was like, no, I literally was just like, she was like, how much do you need? She was like, no, I want the whole thing. How much is the whole thing?
I think clearance. It already had the pickings done from it, That's why it was perfect too, because I thought that I had to measure this stuff. I didn't know if you go to a Joann's, they measure that stuff for you.
Yeah.
Now I know that. Now I hope you guys know if you didn't know what a Joann fabric does.
It's the real deal.
Yeah. And she was like, how much do you need? And I'm like, I'm making ponchos. She was like, do you need this? I'm like, no, we're taking a bowl, we're putting it on the fabric, and we're cutting a hole. That is it. Literally. I hope when you guys see this, nothing is pinned or sewed. We just threw fabric on ourselves, and it worked.
It's straight up fabric.
It worked. Okay. That Joann's experience was like the most thing. Oh, and then how about us in the Marshalls looking for a olive oil container to use as a wine bottle?
Oh my God. We found one.
We found one. I could have just found I could have just used a wine bottle. But no, my brain was like, you got to find an olive oil like type bottle. Like an idiot. But I mean, look, it was a very manic week. I mean, Savanna, it was be like, hey, we finished the project, should be done by the end of the week. And I'm like, okay, hey, now I'm working on the audio. And then at like 2 a.m., I'm sending you the audio, and I'm like, it's done.
Yeah.
Like like the audio was insane. Like making the audio was absolutely insane because, fun fact, since it is just all one thing, I tried taking different songs and different royalty-free songs and splicing them up to make it seem like it's just one large song.
It sounds amazing, though.
Oh, so good. So good. Bro, Leonard Bernstein could never, never. Miklos Rosa could never. Okay. So, and it was very, like I said, manic, and it worked. I sent you the rough cut, and then next day I was like, it's done.
Yeah.
It's done. While I'm studying cardio drugs. Like it was an insane week, but it was really fun. And sorry, I almost threw up in my mouth because I'm just remembering the time. It's giving me heartburn. Giving me a heartburn. But I mean, like overall, I had an amazing time doing it. I'm so happy, you know, and I genuinely think any type of success, and when I say success, I mean just getting it done and completed. You know, any type of success, I really have to attribute to the fact that and one of the biggest things I've ever learned while working for Kevin, working for other people and things like that is if you want things that you'll be proud of and that you love and that will work, is that you have to work with people who not only are like really close with you or just people who like respect you in general. Like, because it was just me, Savanna, and Zach. The most important people in my life making something. And because of that, I could have picked, I could have done auditions. I could have picked professional actors. I could have done all this stuff, and I would never trade anything for it because I don't think it would have been as good without having two people on my team who know how much this meant to me too.
Oh, thank you, bestie.
Like, and I've told Zach I could hire, you can give the script to, Marty Scorsese and he can get his boys, he can get Leo D and he can get, I don't know, Andrew Garfield or something, right? He can, you can give it to Tarantino, you can give it to this. I look at this short film, and this could be due to my narcissistic tendencies, but I look at this and I go, I don't think anyone else could have done it better.
I think you did an amazing job.
Thank you. I don't think if you gave someone $100K, I don't think they could do it better. Like genuinely, like it's just, and that's not just a superiority thing. I think it's just because no one will have that magic of working with your best friends and the most important people in your life to create something, and they understand how important it is to you.
Yeah.
Like, I know Marty and Leo are bros, but they're not you and me, Savanna. You know what I mean?
Couldn't agree more, bestie. Couldn't agree more.
It was so, dude, I think it was so funny too how I realized I'm so cheap. Like, how many times during the making of it was Zach like, oh yeah, we could do this, or I could do this, and I'm like, no, $23 tripod or nothing. He was like, I got a shoulder rig, I got this, we could do this, and we could do, and I'm like, no, I want the crank. We had a $23 tripod that had a
20 minutes with the crank. I swear to God, the first 20 minutes of us getting together, the short film, Zach was trying to convince us to either handheld or something else. You were just like, it's the crank or we're not filming at all. And that was the theme of the short film for the entirety of it.
Because he was like, yeah, I could put it on my shoulder. And I'm like, are you going to be shaky? He's like, well, I'm human. Of course I'm going to be shaky. And I'm like, get that out of here then. Because he was like, oh yeah, I'm pretty steady. I saw this, felt like I was epileptic. Okay. And keep in mind, like he's really great at what he does. I can't stand shaky footage unless it's like called for, like Cloverfield or something like that, right? I don't need you to be listening to us and then all of a sudden your head is bobbing trying to follow, the stillness of the screen and everything.
You said it once, you said it 5 times, you said it 500 times on this podcast.
I said I wanted emotion in the beginning, possibly somewhere in the middle if it was possible, and that was that. And you know what? We had to go a little bit more simpler than what I wanted, but I never gave up my morals of there shall not be handheld.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for any person who says this. If you're like, but handheld is the way to go, it's so easy. You need God. You need guidance, because I'm sorry. and Savanna knows it's my biggest pet peeve. My biggest pet peeve.
Oh yeah.
We strayed further away from God the minute we strayed away from the tripod. But like, I'm in a movie theater. If I see shakiness, I'm whispering deep in your ear. It's not on a tripod. It's not on a crane. Which, by the way, you guys can do movements without looking like, someone has the jitters from their early morning caffeine,
Yeah.
So that was the argument about the crank. That was a big thing.
It was a big thing.
We can use my fluid head tripod. It's like $200. And I'm like, no, 23 from Walmart. Doing just great.
But it looked fantastic.
But it looked great. We may have had he had to compromise everything, but let's be real. I was the one that from the get-go said, still, it's gotta be still.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I was just, and I keep in mind too, out of all of us, Zach is the only one who was like,
Zach went to school for this.
Yeah. And I think it was really difficult because one thing that he told me, he was like, not the worst thing, but the thing that he had the hardest thing to deal with is the fact that even though I was the one that was like, yeah, you should go film school, you should do this, you should do this, I broke every rule. I broke every rule he ever learned. And I think it just made him so upset. Not upset, but like just so baffled because it worked.
It did work.
I'm a slimy director. I don't want to play by the rules. I don't want to do any of that, And like even to like I've seen people make $1,000 short films and I'm like, this looks like a Sprint commercial. You know what I mean? So we did this for $300. I'm proud of it. And look, anyone who's trying to do filmmaking, whether it's a zero budget, whatever it may be, just do you. Just do you. Just do what you want to see. Do what you want to have fun with. Don't be like, well, I got to shoot on this because of this. No, I wanted a crank. I couldn't get a crank, but I got the second best thing to a crank. I still got my vision of stillness. So don't let anyone compromise your vision.
No, I agree. I completely agree.
So yeah. Any other things that you would like to share about with the filming of our short film and anything? Any odd things? Any favorite things? Anything about?
Well, I always love working with my bestie. That's always going to be the best part of it. I think Stephanie did such an amazing job with, not even just for the budget. You did an amazing job in general. The script is good. Our costumes look great. Everything looks really, really good, especially for something that you had such a limited time. We literally did this in between your semester. So just for that, I think
keep in mind, I sent you the script Friday afternoon after I had failed an exam and I knew I was in deep water. And I was like, it's this and studying. That's all I know. That is all I do. And fortunately, I was able to bounce back from my score. But man, that was my nom. Because literally, like the day that we filmed and everything, I had class. I'd studied for hours. And then here we were in the early evening and everything, recording. And it was, like I said, it was difficult. It was difficult for everyone, like, how about telling your cinematographer, hey, cool, by the way, we only have 4 hours to film.
Yeah.
Telling your lead actress, hey, great, you like this? Awesome. You have a week and a half to know this thing inside and out. By the way, you have to come with me to shop for costumes and it's going to be chaotic. It was difficult. It was crazy. It was difficult,
but it all definitely rose to the occasion.
Oh, for sure. For sure. And like I said, I think that's all because, one, we're all extremely close together, and two, like you guys are my best friends and you guys valued how much this meant to me. And I also knew that in some way, that I knew that this meant to you, Savanna, because I know that you wanted to do acting again. You wanted to do something with me and things that and explore that avenue. And I know that this is something that Zach wanted to do and also something that would even to benefit his portfolio and everything for work and whatnot.
Exactly.
So we've entered in some competitions. We'll enter in more, and we're gonna take it to cons. We haven't entered cons, but we'll take it to cons. That's also another thing too. Like, I want to enter in all these things. It costs to enter. Like, my thing is this. I would love to enter for cons, but it's not just that. You got to enter for cons, pay for that, and then you got to fly to cons if you get selected. Like, you don't win. Like, you win, but you don't win financially.
No. Yeah, it comes out of pocket.
Yeah, and like I was surprised. Like I was talking to I was actually talking to I will do a name drop for this just to paint the emphasis on it. I was talking to Kevin Smith's mother, and she was like, "You should put it for Sundance." And I'm like, "I can't fly. I can't afford that. I can't afford that." She was like, "Yeah, you could stay." And I'm like, "Dude, it's Colorado, halfway across the country." And staying in Colorado during the time when Colorado is at its busiest because of the festival. I can't afford that.
Yeah.
You know, because it's not just like, oh, I'm going to go, I'm going to travel, I'm going to stay. No. I got to rent a car. I'm not 25.
Yeah, I don't know how we're going to. Yeah.
You know, like, and then she was like, oh, yeah, you should apply for this. And I'm like, I got $45 in my checking account. I got $45 in my checking account, ma'am.
Yeah.
How am I going to do this, you know?
Yeah. It's rough out here. But we're getting it done.
Yeah. Bro, and that $300 spent was a rough 300. Let me tell you. It was tuna packs for a week, okay? Tuna packs, and keep in mind, gluten-free here. I can't even do little Ritz crackers because they're glutened. It was tuna packs and bell peppers. That was what my diet was for a month after that short film.
Plus, your groceries are already expensive.
And inflation does not help.
No, it doesn't.
So even though I was like, yeah, we need all the fabric. You know what I look like now? I look like a fool because I have all that fabric cut in my room, sitting. Mm-hmm. Now I don't know what to do with it. If you would like fabric, Savanna, let me know. I have tons of fabric.
Maybe you'll use it one day for another project.
Maybe. I don't know. It's real heavy, and I got to figure out a place to put it. But yeah, so that was the project that we had made. You know, we'll probably clickbait this as something and be like, Savanna and I made a movie, or, you know, something like that to grab your attention. So that way you can listen to our little school achievements and sob stories. But yeah, like I'm super proud of us and what we did, and I hope that by the end of the year that you guys should be able to either see some type of trailer or see actually the film somewhere, you know. I could say the 2 festivals that we submitted it to. So as of right now, because in case it's there, now you know, but I don't know yet. It's still undeciding. But essentially, we added it to, well, we submitted it to, of course, I had to submit it to the Kevin Smith Smod Castle Film Festival. That was actually the goal. I was like, I got to make something and submit it to that. Mm-hmm. That was the whole goal. That was like what we based everything around for. So that our timeline was literally based for that. I submitted the film one day before the deadline.
Yeah.
One day before. And then the other one, just because I will happen to be there, is going to be Spooky Empire in this fall. It's not a spooky film. However, I did kind of put it as experimental. So I will give you guys that. That we kind of, at least when I've been submitting it, I've been putting, I think, would you describe it as, there's no drama categories. So for like their short films, it's like either short film, musical, documentary, or experimental.
It's definitely experimental.
I think options. So. Like, look, it's not. What is that wacky movie I showed you? Part of Pinocchio, 341 or whatever that crazy Japanese movie is, and then it's not Eraserhead, but it's also not just like a regular short film either.
No. It's creative. You experimented a lot in your craft here, so I think it counts.
I think one take, and the other, the time period of the whole shebang is enough for it to be, oddly enough, to be considered experimental. But
Yeah.
I'm so excited, and I can't wait for us to hear back, because guess what? Even if we don't get in, the earlier you guys get to see it. So for the sake of our, you know what? You are listening to this, and if you are a Patreon member, I'm going to post the private link to it. You share it,
Ooh,
you're
very
done.
good.
You're done with Purple Noon. You're done, because it can't be shared. But I do have a private link to it. So for those who are on our Patreon and everything like that, you get to see it. And all you have to do is be part of the dollar portion of it, and you can't share it. If you share it, that's not going to look good for you. Not going to look good at all.
There will be repercussions.
Yeah. For surezies. But yeah, so if you are a Patreon member and things like that, I will be posting it in the Patreon only. And if you are not a Patreon right now, but if you would like to see it, then go subscribe to our dollar Patreon. And literally, not only do you get little access to this, but every time we do record an episode, we will give you a shout out at the end. And we're trying to be more consistent. I'm sorry to our 3 Patreons who are our little blessings.
Such
I
loyal
apologize.
lads.
I hope after telling you everything that you understand our circumstances.
We love you guys, and we appreciate you putting up with the inconsistencies that we are. But we're back this time.
Yes, fingers crossed that nothing insane occurs. It's gonna be you're doing a lone episode. Well, guys, Stephanie's been institutionalized.
No, don't
She's
say
okay.
Don't say that.
She's got her squishables with her.
She got the grippy socks now.
She's got grippy socks. She's got, oh, dude, I've regressed so much the past 3 months. Like, the amount of stuffed animals that have started collectively combining on my bed now the past 3 months is insane. Because, I don't drink, I don't do drugs, I play video games, and now I collect squishables to help with the sanity.
I want a squishable.
You gotta get squishable. You gotta get squishable. Not squishmallows. Those are dumb. Squishables makes it for goth, dark people like me. And I have a plague doctor. Squishable.
We gotta email them and see if they can make you an Invader Zim squishable.
Yo, if they got the licensing to that, I'm done. I will literally buy like the big boy if they ever make like a big version, because they make a giant version of the one that I have that's like $250. So squishables, you're looking to scam a girly, talk to me. I'm ready to be scammed. But anything else, Savanna, that you would like to comment or say before we sign off?
I think the next movie we're going to review is called Tokyo Drifter.
Yes.
So I'm excited.
I actually have the list here, so I can give you a little bit of a teaser of what we said that we were going to talk about. So we have Tokyo Drifter, Two Men in Town, and that's going to be the original one with Alain Delon, and then Gerard Depardieu in the background. So, the boys. Okay, well, not really Gerard. So sorry, Gerard, you are no longer a boy, but young you before the atrocities. Oh my god. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow.
Yay.
We got Lady Snowblood, and then the sequel to Lady Snowblood. We got Grand Budapest Hotel, and then I don't even remember what this. Oh, I do remember what this one was. This one's gonna be goofy. This one is John and the Hole.
What is that?
Do you remember? Did I tell you about that one?
I remember the name. I don't remember the plot.
Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. It was one of those things where I saw my mom watching it, and I was like, "What is this?" She was like, "This is some dark stuff you would like," and I was like, "Ooh." Intrigued. What is it about? So if I look it up, what it is, let me look it up again, because I don't want to like misrepresent it. Because I never actually watched it. I only saw parts of it. It's a psychological thriller, and it says it plays out the unsettling reality of a kid who holds his family captive in a hole in the ground.
Oh my god.
And it actually has, like Michael C. Hall and Tasia Farmiga as some of the main leads in it. So it is different. And I really want to see it. And it's a 2021 film, too.
Oh, wow. Okay, so this is new.
Yeah. So it's called John and the Hole. So we have a ton of other movies scheduled and everything, like just to name a few. Other ones that are kind of dispersed throughout, we have Dogtooth,
Oh.
Last Tango in Paris. Oh my god.
Oh, what a lineup right
Oh my
there.
god.
Just
I'm gonna
in
lose
time
it.
for Halloween,
I'm gonna lose
everybody.
it. I'm gonna lose it. Bro, and I'm going out of order. So it might not be around Halloween. We'll get to this. But we got other things coming up include 1962 Lolitas.
Ooh.
And if you notice, we're kind of sticking with some older films, just because I honestly, older films are more fun to review. They're easier access. The world is getting more expensive, and although Savanna got that good with the AMC and stuff, I don't. So because I live farther away from the AMC,
Yes.
but yeah. So we also have like A Kiss Before Dying, which I'm hyped about showing you because it's one of my little like guilty pleasures. We got Les Cercles Rouges, which is Les Cercles Rouge in human. And then like Little Miss Sunshine, World on a Wire, and then one of your favorite films, Sunflower.
Yay! This is a great lineup.
I think, oh, dude, sorry, right after, dude, I think actually Halloween is still going to be rough because not only do we have John in the Hole, but we have Empire of Passion.
Oh my God, Steph.
And Actor's Revenge.
Yeah, it's going to be another rough one. I don't know if it's going to be as rough as last year's episode, but it's going to be a rough one.
No, Salo has not been added to the list yet, fortunately.
It will never be added to the list.
Okay, I respect that. I won't do it, I promise.
This is just my gripe with the community at this point.
I think so too. You know what? I will say, I really thought, it's funny, I actually thought I had put, apparently I didn't. I thought I had put House That Jack Built. And you know at some point, once we get our hands on it, we're talking about Riget Season 3 whenever it comes out soon. It comes out soon. It's on Viaplay. I don't know what that is, but I'm going to find out and see if I can get it in the US.
We got to have a watch party.
Bro, oh my God. Do you know, like, I'm probably the only loser in the US to be like, Riget, oh my God, Riget.
The whole process of us, like, didn't you email somebody for this?
I meant to email. I accidentally, look, I don't know how it got to them. I didn't know. I didn't understand it. I accidentally emailed the company's publisher and like their publicist and everything like that. And then they had to connect me to that. It was a big thing. And like the thing is, I didn't even hit like a little, they released like a statement, right? And there was one email attached to it and I emailed. And I got a response back, and it was like, "Hey, yeah, like I'm like the publicist for the company. I'm the director of the company of the publicist company." So it was a lot. It was a lot. It was a lot to deal with.
They know you now.
They're
aware of your presence.
But should I email them again?
Why not? Just be like, "Hey, what's the update?"
Like that was goofy. That was very interesting when that happened.
Yeah. But you know what? Now they know. They know of your presence. They know you're a fan. You got to keep bothering them. Who else wants this in the United States? Nobody.
That is true. That is true.
Another company we need to harass is probably the Criterion to release The Woman Next Door.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Dude, that is like people protest for many things, right? And things that are well-deserved in the world, like human rights issues and things like that. It is so shameful that the one thing that could get me out of my house is protesting the Criterion Collection to put The Woman Next Door on DVD.
We have to.
I know it wouldn't be a good look. That's the thing. I know, guys. I know it's not a good look because Depardieu is on some dumb shit right now. Okay?
This is bigger than him, though. Okay?
It really is. It's such a good movie. I was literally just telling Savanna how the Criterion Collection, the Criterion Channel membership is killing me, but I get these hankerings for The Woman Next Door, and that movie is not available anywhere else, and I will not illegally download movies because I'm a dweeb, and so I can only get my fix from that. So I will, even if I don't see a scene from The Woman Next Door for like 3 months, and I don't use Criterion Channel every month, okay? I will literally go to hit deactivate, and I'm like, but the woman next door. That's probably why they're keeping it on there, because they know that they're just going to keep getting my monies. Because the minute they put it on a DVD, they're losing the membership. Well, HBO Max is acting up, so we like the membership now, even more so.
It's a complicated relationship we have.
It is. I'm literally checking right now, and I have to make sure that it's on there, because if it's not on, like, you know, when they announce, like, oh yeah, here are some things that are leaving the channel, I will not go and watch a movie on the Criterion Channel for like months, okay? The minute they put that, and I see the link to it, I click it, and I scroll through, and I make sure the woman next door is not on there.
No, we can't.
It's a pressing issue. I'm just typing in the woman. I see it? It's on there, and it's great. It is safe, and I can live in peace now.
Every time
in debt, but in peace.
Every time I log on to the Criterion, it's not even just in the history. It's on the main page, the first one. And the question is, do you want to keep watching? And it's the woman next door. That's always the first one.
And it's
and I'm
so
like,
messed
how many times did you watch this?
I know you've clicked on the video too to see where I'm at. It's the same scene.
I know.
It's the scene where he's hitting her at the party. That's my favorite scene.
Very mentally ill things here. Very mentally ill.
Oh my God, I'm crying. That's my favorite. That is my favorite scene. Because there is, if you go on, there's only one Letterboxd review I'll ever remember. And it's one where someone said that for The Woman Next Door, they gave it 4 stars. And they said, Horny Depardieu goes loco at a party. And that was the review. And that scene is the scene where he goes loco at a party. And that's the thing I keep going back to. Okay.
It's just 10-minute scene.
Look, I know I've had a rough summer, guys. If you think my mentality has gotten better, you're really worse. You are surely wrong. Okay.
We have to find you the next step of this. What's after this?
That's my thing, Savanna. I don't know. I'm afraid to watch movies because I don't know what's going to be next for me. I don't know if mentally I can handle my next niche, you know?
Yeah, it might just be getting more intense. I don't know though. You have a pattern. You have a pattern. You like mentally ill couples that end in destruction.
I know. Oh my God. It's so beautiful.
We went to Barnes and Noble's last month in the Criterion Collection section. And I said, what are you going to get? And you said to me, I'm feeling French mental illness with romance or with love or something like that.
Dude, the minute I get my hands on The Last Metro, it's over. It's over. My God. It's over. Okay.
That might be the next one.
No, you know what's one thing? No. My next one, I have the DVD. It was my wallpaper. I literally have a playlist about like a music playlist correlating to what it would be like if I watched the movie. I can't watch it now because I know it's going to take over. And that is Matrice.
Oh, Matrice.
I cannot watch that. That is another Criterion. And look, guys, I'm okay. I promise. But I have hyperfixations, okay? And certain of them I can handle. Certain of them I can't. Right now, I can handle this weird, goofy little squishable and Invader Zim thing that I'm having right now because it's harmless. But once we start bringing in Matrice, it's going to be rough. It's going to be rough for me, okay?
You have a spectrum of hyperfixations. It's really funny because it goes from like Invader Zim and like Sailor Moon, and then you go into YouTube and video games, and then you go into your movie selections, and then it's your book selections.
It is so messed up. So that do you know what it's like to live in my brain where you just hyperfixate on cartoons from the early 2000s and 90s, right? And then immediately jump into like House That Jack Built and Matrice and God knows what's next. Okay.
You gotta keep up.
And people might be like, oh yeah, you say you want to watch this, why not watch it? Because there's a time and place mentally for me for things.
Yeah.
You know? Just like how, like, oh, you're about to go out to dinner and you just did your makeup. You're not going to watch Schindler's List. You're going to sob. There's a time and place. There's a time and place for Schindler's List. And there's a time and place for these deviant French films I find.
I also want to make the point that remember we reviewed The Woman Next Door. I believe it's either a year ago or a year and a half ago now. So this fixation has been just nonstop. So for everybody that's saying, "Oh, just watch it," no, you don't understand. That's it.
You don't understand.
Forever. It doesn't go away.
It's a chokehold. It's a chokehold. It starts with watching the movie. It then starts with watching little scenes from the movie. It then starts with buying the album. And then you listen to the album and you're reminded of the movie. And then you watch the movie again. And then you watch your favorite scenes from the movie. And it continues. And it's so bad. It's so bad. Like,
no, I knew I was in trouble when you made a playlist. When you made a playlist and you sent it to me.
I made a playlist for a movie I haven't even seen yet. And that's bad. That's bad. But that's why I got 3 months. I got 3 months to just absorb it and get it out of my system when it occurs. Okay?
It's not. I want to read you. May I read the playlist name that you sent me? Can I read it?
Go ahead.
Stephanie sent me a playlist. I want to say, so there's 2 that she sent me. One is called I'm Pissed, and it's just Thumpasaurus's whole album. And then another one is oh, by the way, this updates. You update it every so often, so this is an ongoing playlist.
Do you save my playlist?
Yeah, I look from time to time just to see how you're doing.
No.
And this, remember, it doesn't go away once you share it with me. It's on my my Listen Now page. So the name is Songs I Would Seduce the 1980s Gerard Depardieu to. And is a picture of young Depardieu, like young Gerard in a convertible with a blonde woman. I don't know what movie this
Matrice.
Oh, that's right, Matrice. Yeah. So the song names in this oh my god. Stephanie,
I'm looking through and I understand. But first of all, she doesn't also know the rest of my playlist. So might as well air out all the laundry and just tell you all the playlists that I have. Okay. I have a playlist called Dad Rock that is a picture of Gerard Depardieu during the era of what was that movie? 102 Dalmatians.
Oh my god.
With him in a blazer, shirtless with long metal rock hair. Okay. Yeah. I have Divorced Dad Rock, which is an image of Chris Chan in like a tank top and fake tattoos. No. And he looks like he listens to Limp Bizkit. Okay. That's the vibe. My funk playlist that I had mentioned before is actually just titled Incel Funk. And it has the Riddler.
Oh god. Oh my god.
I have a playlist and I update these regularly.
No, I know.
I have a playlist called Kia Soul, and it's all my R&B and actual funk music and things like that. And it's a picture of Roy Schneider from Jaws, and it says ACAB, which means Amityville cops are beautiful.
Send me that one.
Okay. I have a playlist called Our Playlist Comrade, which is a playlist for my boyfriend and I to listen to in the car. And it's a picture of Markiplier holding up Lady Dimitrescu.
Oh my god. Yes,
I have perks of being on Tumblr because I was a big Tumblr girl as a kid. And it's a picture of Lana Del Rey in Sodom.
No.
It's just a fiery background. I have a picture of a guy crying for an album called Soft Boy Tings. I have my soundtracks playlist, which is called Soundtrack Supreme. I have a picture of another man crying, but this time it's called the Old Timer Blues, and it's all of like my sad songs from the 50s and 40s. I have the Vitals, which is all of my favorite music.
Of course.
And then I have 19th Century Villain Vibes.
Ooh,
which is like my classical stuff.
So again,
the newest one would be Our Playlist Comrade.
Again, I feel like that just represents the varying stages in your mental health.
And you know what's insane? These playlists are long, Savanna. These playlists are long. Like every time, because it doesn't show on my phone, but it will show on my desktop that when I look, because like I said, I played the funk music when I'm in class. I have 22 hours worth of funk music saved in one playlist.
Wow.
It's also subtitled as the Iceberg Lounge Radio. So that's the vibe from Batman. Kia Soul has 7 hours. Perks of Being on Tumblr is 13 hours worth of stuff. Soft Boy Ting, 7 hours.
Soft Boy Ting.
Songs I Would Seduce 1980s Gerard Depardieu to is a newer one. It's only 2 hours.
A reasonable length.
Soundtrack Supreme, it just says 1 day. It is 496 songs, and it just says 1 day.
Wow.
Old Timer Blues is 4 hours. The Vitals, 23 hours of songs.
Almost at that day mark, yeah.
I get it. Divorced Dad, 13 hours. And let's make things clear. Dad rock, pretty much anything from like 70s, 80s, some 90s, and rare early 2000s. Divorced Dad rock is 90s and so on. So like Dad rock is going to have things like The Doors, Fleetwood Mac,
good.
Mott the Hopple. If anyone knows what that is, I great job. Divorced Dad rock is going to be White Stripes, System of a Down, every Evanescence song ever made, things like that. So
I'm
that's
glad you're giving this distinction.
Well, because I'm in different moods. I'm a moody person, as you could tell. I have moods. I had moves for a Woman Next Door. I have moods for Last Tango.
Yeah.
I have those things. So I have my vitals, which is like, that's the stuff that every song that I play, I'm going, oh yeah, I love this song, which happens to be 400 songs, which is so stupid.
That's a solid playlist.
It's 23 hours. It's 23 hours.
Yeah. Well.
But yeah, so that's, look, anyone wants to hear any of these playlists, let me know. I listen to Apple Music. I will gladly send you a link. Or even just send you a screenshot sample of what I listen to.
You gotta give people what they want. Yeah.
So Savanna, I will be forwarding you the rest of the playlist. And I just see that Savanna has just sent me a playlist of her own, which is for, can I say it out loud?
Yeah.
It says the Palo Mix.
And it's just the only 6 songs my husband likes to listen to in the car. Just 6 songs.
I gotta see what these songs actually are. I can't. That is so funny. They're great songs. Do not get me wrong.
They don't belong together, in my opinion.
No,
but that's it.
But it's funny too because, like, did your boyfriend listen to anything else before me? Because these are all songs in my playlist. Like they're niche stuff. They're neat. Like no one knows Post Animal, except you because you went to a concert.
This was all stuff on my phone. So
gotcha.
The only thing that wasn't on my phone was Whiplash.
Oh, that's in my Soundtrack Supreme. That's a great soundtrack.
He's a drummer. It's the same 6 songs we listened to in a row because Paulo, you want to hear something really, sorry, I'm putting him on blast, but you want to hear something really weird that I think he should work through in terms of music?
What?
He doesn't like female singers.
Oh, that's
I said, what's going on? He's like, yeah, it just doesn't, it doesn't sound right.
What? Nah.
I don't like that. We need to change it. I put on Stevie Nicks. He didn't like it.
That's a Savanna. That's not screaming, I don't like. That just says, I don't like to hear women. That doesn't say, I'm not a fan of female singers. That says, I don't like to hear women. Savanna, you make a podcast.
Literally, no, I'm going to call it. I'm going to either call the police or like several psychiatrists.
Look, I got red flags. I got a playlist called Incel Funk. I'm very aware of my red flags too. Okay. But that's a red flag.
Oh no. Yeah. It's going to be taken care of immediately.
It's just, I can understand too, like him going like not liking every single like new music out there, because I'm kind of like the similar way. Like I don't listen to like I don't like the radio. I like listening to like a lot of old and new things, like all mixed together. Maybe that could be it. Maybe he's just looking at the wrong.
No, he's a very picky person. Very like the most
and
selective,
everything.
the most selective human being I've ever met.
Dang,
I don't know
that's
why,
rough.
but we're gonna fix it because I can't. He can't be saying that.
No,
I can't.
That just Matt. We're on the red carpet premiering our short film, and he slips out with something like that.
No, banned.
Says something like, "Yeah, I couldn't really watch a short film because I don't like to hear women."
Banned from
I don't
everything.
hear women. I don't hear them.
I'm gonna have to put him in the closet. I'm gonna have to stick him in the closet. Yeah.
Well, I'm really happy that we at least were able to film this type of episode, even though it's not like full movie reviewing. I'm happy that we're able to just sit down, record, kind of jumpstart everything, and also just kind of fill you guys in on what's been going on in our lives and everything. And if you would like to see the short film and everything like that, please check out our Patreon. Check out the $1 Patreon, $5. There's many different tiers and stuff like that. And that is something that once we get the ball rolling and stuff like that, we'll also update too, because I think we could add a few more things once we have our schedule established and whatnot. So yeah, just thank you guys so much. As always, thank you to our 3 Purple Noon besties.
Very loyal besties indeed.
We got, we got James, we got Danny Boy, and wait, oh my god, wait.
The one and only Sensei David.
Sensei David. I was like, his name's not Steve. Why am I thinking S? And then I realized David. There it was.
But who, by the way, has offered to come on the podcast again to talk about, I believe it was Mama Roma.
Ooh, that'll be a good one.
We got to get him on here.
Yes. So
it's been a long time.
David, if you are listening to this, we will be reaching out to you shortly. And James, if you're listening to this too, homeboy James and Danny Boy, please DM me and stuff like that. And if you guys want to hop on the podcast and stuff like that, we can definitely set up a time and a date for that. So yeah, thank you guys so much for your patience and for listening to us and for supporting us. And to our Patreon members, we will be sending you the linky link after this podcast comes out. And yeah, hope all you guys are doing well, and you guys will hear us talk about Tokyo Drifter, God willing, within a week from today.
Soon.
So thank you guys so much for listening, and we will see you soon. Bye.
See you on the flip.